Good morning. I'm just going to get into the reading Torah, chapter 13. In Exodus chapter 13, the Lord spoke further to Moses, saying, "Consecrate to me every firstborn man and beast. The first issue of every womb among the Israelites is mine." And Moses said to the people, "Remember this day on which we went free from Egypt, the house of bondage, how the Lord freed you from it with a mighty hand. No leavened bread shall be eaten. You go free on this day in the month of Abib. So when the Lord has brought you into the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, you shall observe it in this month in the following practice. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the seventh day there shall be a festival of the Lord. Throughout the 7 days unleavened bread shall be eaten. No leavened bread shall be found with you. No leaven shall be found in all your territory. And you shall explain to your son on that day, it is because of Egypt. It is because of what the Lord did for me when I went free from Egypt. And this shall serve you as a sign on your hand, as a reminder in your forehead, in order that the teachings of the Lord may be in your mouth, that with a mighty hand the Lord freed you from Egypt. You shall keep this instruction as its set time from year to year. And when the Lord had brought you into the land of the Canaanites, he swore to you and to your fathers, and has given it to you. You shall set apart for the Lord every first issue of the womb. Every male firstling that your cattle drop shall be the Lord's. But every firstling as you shall redeem with a sheep, if you do not redeem it, you must break its neck. And you must redeem every firstborn male among your children. And when it's time to come, your son asks you, saying, 'What does this mean?' You shall say to him, 'It was with a mighty hand that the Lord brought us out from Egypt, the house of bondage, when Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go. The Lord slew every firstborn in the land of Egypt, the firstborn of both man and beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord every first male issue of the womb, but redeem every firstborn among my sons. And so it shall be as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol on your forehead, that with a mighty hand the Lord freed us from Egypt.' Now, when Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them by way of the Philistines, although it was nearer for God said, 'The people may have a change of heart when they see war and return to Egypt.' So God led the people round about by way of the wilderness and the Sea of Reeds. Now the Israelites went up armed out of the land of Egypt, and Moses took with him the bones of Joseph, who had exacted an oath from the children of Israel, saying, 'God will be sure to take notice of you. Then you shall carry up my bones from here with you.' They set out from Succoth and encamped at Etham, at the edge of the wilderness. The Lord went before them in a pillar of cloud by day to guide them along the way, and in a pillar of fire by night to give them light, that they might travel day and night. The pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night did not depart before the people." Continuing, 14. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites to turn back and encamp before Pi-hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea. Before Baal-zephon you shall encamp facing it by the sea. Pharaoh will say of the Israelites, they are astray in the land. The wilderness has closed in on them, that I may assert my authority against Pharaoh and all his hosts. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. And they did. And when the king of Egypt was told that the people have fled, Pharaoh and his courtiers had a change of heart about the people and said, "What is this we have done, releasing Israel from our service?" He ordered his chariots and took his men with him. He took 600 of his picked chariots, and in the rest of the chariots of Egypt, and the rest of the chariots with Egypt, with officers in all of them. The Lord stiffened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he gave chase to the Israelites. As the Israelites were departing boldly, the Egyptians gave chase to them, and all the chariot horses of Pharaoh, his horsemen, and his warriors overtook them, encamped by the sea, near Phahah-hiroth, before Baal-zephon. As Pharaoh drew near, the Israelites caught sight of the Egyptians advancing upon them. Greatly frightened, the Israelites cried out to the Lord, and they said to Moses, "Was it for want of graves in Egypt that you brought us to die in the wilderness? What have you done to us, taking us out of Egypt? Is it not that very thing we told you in Egypt, saying, 'Let us be, and we will serve the Egyptians'? For it is better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness." But Moses said to the people, "Have no fear. Stand by and witness the deliverance which the Lord will work for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will battle before you. Hold your peace." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why do you cry out to me? Tell the Israelites to go forward and lift up your rod and hold it out your arm over the sea and split it, so that the Israelites may march into the sea on dry ground. And I will stiffen the hearts of the Egyptians so that they go in after them. And I will assert my authority against Pharaoh and all his warriors, his chariots and his horsemen. Let the Egyptians know that I am the Lord. Then, when I assert my authority against Pharaoh, his chariots, and his horsemen." The angel of God who had been going ahead of the Israelites' army now moved and followed behind them, and the pillar of a cloud shifted in front of them and took up a place behind them. And it came between the army of the Egyptians and the army of Israel. Thus there was a cloud with the darkness, and it cast a spell upon the night, so that the one could not come near the other all through the night. Then Moses held out his arm over the sea, and the Lord drove back the sea with a strong east wind at that night, and turned the sea into dry ground. The waters were split, and the Israelites went into the sea on dry ground, the waters forming a wall for them on their right and their left. The Egyptians came in pursuit after them into the sea, and all of Pharaoh's horses, chariots, and horsemen. At the morning watch, the Lord took down upon the Egyptian army from a pillar of fire and cloud, and threw the Egyptian army into panic. He locked the wheels of their chariots so that they moved forward with difficulty. And the Egyptians said, "Let us flee from the Israelites, for the Lord is fighting for them against Egypt." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Hold out your arm over the sea, that the waters may come back upon the Egyptians and upon their chariots and upon their horsemen." Moses held out his arm over the sea at daybreak, and the sea returned to its normal state, and the Egyptians fled at its approach. But the Lord hurled the Egyptians into the sea. The waters turned back and covered the chariots and the horsemen. Pharaoh's entire army that had followed after them into the sea, not one of them remained. But the Israelites marched through the sea on dry ground, the waters forming a wall for them on their right and on their left. Thus the Lord delivered Israel that day from the Egyptians. Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the shore of the sea. And when Israel saw the wondrous power which the Lord had wielded against the Egyptians, the people feared the Lord. They had faith in the Lord and in his servant Moses. This is the word of the Lord. Praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. Shalom.